a much darker version than what we're doing. We are angry towards betterness. They're angry.
I still don't agree with it. I think it's rude. I think it's monogamous. It's monogamous, polygamous, and it's racist.
You're just throwing out words.
No, it's prehistoric.
Volvet.
It's Velveeta.
It's c'est la vie.
It's not butter.
You
Can't believe it.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. This is the Guigo and Nico show.
Late night episode.
Late night, apparently.
Not to everybody else, but we usually record during the daytime. For those who are wondering,
might be an after. Actually, I don't know because I release it and it could be it goes global.
No, I'm just saying.
So
it's a late night episode.
If it's released on 2 p.m. At some time, right? It could be.
No, it's a late night episode because it's a late night episode for us.
Shout out to Korea.
Shout out to Koreans.
South and North, Why not?
They won't hear us anymore. Maybe in the future, 10 years later.
No, rebels. Are we allowed to talk about this?
Rebels scum. You rebels.
Anytime rebels are mentioned, you have to say that, even if it's
rebels. Like the right side. Like actually, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to say there's a right side to rebels because sometimes the rebels like bomb people and like it's a whole scenario.
And then they turn into once the coup is done, they turn into the
worst.
Yeah, even worse or as bad.
My boy Saddam.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill him.
Yeah, Fidel. All right.
Well,
so, guys, it is apparently
Cha.
my topic today. My topic is going to be...
My topic.
Oh, you got a topic?
No, your topic is my topic.
What? How is that?
I came up with it. I'm taking credit. Now say it.
That's ridiculous. So, we were thinking about what kind of like that topic that we did about what qualities we'd like to put into
like what qualities would you like to have in a video game? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
And I told him about it. He tried to steal my
I came up with that.
Not
It's
really.
the kind of thing I come up with.
Not really. You didn't really come up with it.
So, all right. So, Nico,
really
if you
your
came
idea.
up with it, what inspired the idea? Go. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, you know how like dogs get like natural selected?
No.
To like they have traits that you like in a dog.
I don't know what
and
evolution is.
people have their particular dog breed that they like. Like some people like the pug, which is like the most like ugly dog in my opinion.
Ouch. Poor pug.
I like my dog.
Shout out from at least
the pug is literally like developed to be like not good at natural selection. We were roasting our dog. We were roasting this dog earlier.
And Tymba. Hey, dog.
For not having thumbs.
He's a little fat now.
And I pointed it out.
A little more fat.
A little fat.
He's tired now.
A big fat.
He eats his pebbles.
Fruity pebbles.
So, guys, I don't know. What would I like in a video game?
Okay, how about we start out just naming some video games. What is the particular video game that we'll do a few genres, okay? We'll start with the first person.
Throw shit out. I mean,
all
right, whatever. What games do you like?
I don't like video games. They're lifestyles to me. Battlefield 1, I put myself in the position of a soldier. I literally shoot myself every time I get shot in game with the same gun.
Just to know what it
I look at the kill cam and I'm like, okay. So I die every day.
What does it feel like to be shot by World War I guns, Nico?
Like pebbles. No. Like
Well,
rocks.
You like Smite?
Smite.
What's Smite?
It's I think it's called a MOBA, I believe.
But
it's like a third person. It's not like the traditional like really like have you ever seen like videos? Remember that we watched the Dota 2 internationals a while back? They had like it's over the top, you get to see it, and Smite's more like third person view.
Okay.
I like it for the item building and the whole like customization where you get to like kind of choose your play style. I hate it for the company that's behind it. Because they spend more time putting into loot boxes than
kind of like Battlefield.
No.
No, you don't like. You like EA?
I don't like EA, but DICE is not EA.
I know.
Well, they kind of are, but they.
Here we go. Nico, can you just pause this for a second? We'll be right back, folks. It's going to be seamless for you guys, so don't even worry about it.
No, it's not going to be seamless. I'm going to make sure there's a little divot.
What?
No sound.
Do you want to just keep going then?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let me go deal with the punk. Sorry,
this dog is a very interesting dog.
God damn.
But brings up an interesting topic.
Figure it out.
First-person game mode, but with animals instead of like people. So like like a natural selection game. So essentially, like you start off, you get to be like maybe you get to choose your animal, maybe like a freaking worm. Okay, so like you're swimming, traveling through the rummaging about in the compost, and then all of a sudden, you know what? Maybe you eat a little bit more, you get a little more energy, you evolve. Okay, it's not realistic. It's kind of like you get to skip generations, you evolve, and then all of a sudden you're a bigger worm. Okay, maybe you grow arms and legs. So eventually you become top of the food chain. That's the goal. Okay, so maybe you could do a different animal. You start off as a bear, and then you wake your way up. I think the idea is that you have I love upgrades in games. I like when you get to work for something and then you get an upgrade, but like two differing upgrade trees, where like one way you get a different kind of playstyle and the other way you get a different kind of playstyle. So I would love this like a natural selection animal game where you get to start out as some animal and you work your way up. No humans allowed. We're garbage. We're hacks.
Remember me. Cool. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that would just be an amazing game, Nico.
See that seamless transition? Why does it sound like he gets getting smacked around?
Who?
Tymba. Do you hear like the?
Yeah, he's going crazy. He's going wild. He took some meth.
Amphetamines.
No.
Meth and amphetamines.
And amphetamines.
No, meth and amphetamines.
Okay. So a game with natural selection? A natural selection game.
Basically, it's supposed to be like you have to work your way up, survive against other animals, and then like instead of like having to do the whole process of like you like have to go for generations. Yeah. Instead, you get a certain level, you just kind of like skip a generation, so like you get an upgrade tree, kind of like Civilization Revolution, and you go up, and then like you gotta get your your food, shelter, water, all those stuffs, and you work your way up, and then you become the big dog on campus.
That seems like a very educational game. Like you would educate kids.
We would intentionally make it unrealistic and unscientifically.
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
We're not nerds. We're not trying to learn.
You're saying what kind of video game you want, and you're like, we're not nerds. Yeah,
we're total chads.
Yeah, you're not the guy. I mean, you do play Battlefield. You're not like me though. You're like the only online game he really plays is like Modern Warfare 3. Still,
total chad.
Total. No, it could be educational. You could teach people about the animals, even unrealistically, and teach people about evolution. That could help.
I think the difficult part would be like creating a mass. Like people, they struggle with creating mass environments of like people. Imagine trying to create animals of animal AI that's functional.
Absolutely.
And with a bunch of animals that you get to play with, and then having all the upgrades, like bigger beard, bigger beard for bears, bigger beak for birds, and then like something like that, or then bigger talons, and then wider wingspan or smaller wingspan for more agility, and then you work your way up, and then you're top of the food chain.
Boom. Or what about a series that focuses, not a series per se, but like each game is a different animal, right? So we do a bird game, and then you do an insect game. Then you do a, something game.
Made by DICE.
Made by DICE, yeah.
So then we have destructibility.
Destructive environment.
Suicide peregrine falcons. That's what I want. Yeah. It's very realistic. Maybe you give them guns too.
I'm thinking of like Far Cry when you're talking about this, like Far Cry 4 and 5 and that middle one.
You never played 5.
I never played 5, but I've seen it.
Oh.
Just kind of like,
all right.
Like Death Stranding. I kind of know what it is. Oh, I love that thing. You have the right to arm bears.
Do you have the right to disarm bears?
No, just arm them.
Can you disarm their arms?
No. Are you getting the joke? Are you?
So, interesting news now. No,
yeah.
nothing interesting in that news, actually.
No, never.
Wait, I heard that Kim Kardashian went to the White House or something like that.
For what?
I don't know. Anti-cyberbullying or something like that?
Oh, that stuff. Oh, that's ooh.
Bringing that topic, there was a game that was on Steam, okay? That was like you get to play as a school shooter, and it got banned, okay? So, understandably,
now everybody can just go play Postal.
I think going out the idea of that, instead of that, like a school shooter type, why not have, you know, an all-out, you have to, like, you're basically, like, in behind enemy lines, and, like, you know, like the Doom kind of freaking gore and stuff, and you have to break out of, like, Nazi backlines or something like that.
Yeah, okay, let's just make a whole another different game. Completely different concept.
But it satisfies your urge to just murder people. They're Nazis. They're not people.
But it's a different thing. It's to murder innocent people. I mean, guys, let's not get too serious here. We're talking about video games, but it's a different thing.
Okay, maybe you get to run like a Sims version of a concentration camp.
Jesus,
that's horrible.
That is horrible.
Is that what they want? I don't want it.
People want.
Is that what the people want? I don't want it.
That is disturbing.
I want a Sims I want like a Sims version of like oceans. Like you get to build your ocean, and conquer.
We can't air this in Scotland. It'll be
too serious.
Hate crime.
No,
too serious. Okay,
it's a love crime. Is there reverse crimes? Oh, that's stalking.
Okay. Hey!
It's a hate.
No, there was games that you could go crazy and shoot stuff. Which wasn't like
Doom was again. You can go crazy.
Wasn't that Enraged? There was that game in black and white, which I thought was like not a good game or whatever.
I mean, there's that one scene in Call of Duty where like you just gun down all those.
Which, you know, it's weird. It was a controversy, right, when it came out because like
didn't France not like allow it to?
I think maybe certain European countries, probably France.
Typical
for
no reasons.
No, no, but
they don't allow guns in airports.
It's specific to how it's made. Were there people who replay it to try to, you know, do certain things in it that become?
I was trying to get my KD up.
Yeah, like I made sure every single person. No, but
yes.
What was I gonna say? God, you cut me off to talk about your KD in a massacre. No, you play.
That's how I get your KD.
You play as a CIA agent who's infiltrated a terrorist cell.
Not very great.
So you literally play as how the player is, right? As a player, you're not supposed to like that you're Nico. You're not supposed to like that you're doing it.
Yes.
You're there, like putting yourselves in the shoes of the CIA agent.
Just trying to
seeing how terrible, but how crazy the main bad guy is.
What
Makarov.
was the point of infiltrating the terrorist cell if you participate in the terrorist attack? It'd be like, guys, we infiltrate. Like, it'd be like if the CIA infiltrated the terrorists on 9/11, and actually we're the people who actually did the whole thing, except they thought they were doing it under the guise of being terrorists.
That would be actually a very cool movie. I mean, imagine that. Like
they thought they were smart.
He's undercover, but he goes really deep, and then he turns out to be the one who does the actual terror.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm leading a terrorist cell, and I'm. Why did like?
I'm still undercover.
What was the point? Like, oh, it's so you can experience like what? It's like, wait, but what? The guy didn't stop the massacre at all. He didn't do anything.
No,
and then he gets shot at the end because they knew he was there all along.
The game goes over and over again to try to make you. Is it Modern Warfare 2 or 1 that does that, or 2 or 3?
I think it was. I want to say 2. Because they had the airport mode or airport map.
Well, they have that in 3 too.
Yeah, but see, it was remastered for free.
Well,
they wouldn't bring in the airport.
It continuously tried to show terrorist attacks as being not that it's great in comparison, but they tried to. Yeah, exactly. They tried to show how terrible it was. So they have the one where the bomb goes off and it's the chemical attack on France. And it's like a little kid walking up to try to make these pigeons go, and then the bomb goes off. And it's the dad filming it behind her. So, and then you participate first person.
For no reason.
No, your info. Yeah, it's stupid. We talked about
why didn't they should have just made you play as a terrorist? There was
no, because then first, it wouldn't fit in the story, but second, it doesn't have the same effect of you.
Yeah, but here's the problem. That would make more sense for what they're trying to show as like you're actually participating. What they showed is the stupidest plan of all time, where it's like you initially go through it like, oh my god, he had to participate. It's kind of like, you know, gangs when they make the cop shoot somebody or something like that, or something like that, like in movies. But no, it's more like they made the man actually participate in the terrorist attack. He was support. It'd be like if they infiltrated a terrorist cell to stop like one of those bombings that happened, I think in London, like Manchester.
Right.
And the guy who actually planted the bombs was the CIA agent who infiltrated. Like, you gotta think, what was your plan?
Maybe he didn't know that it was about to go down. Maybe.
Well, shoot the guys next to you. At least try.
Or maybe, you know, you're so deep and I don't know. Maybe
he got convinced. He got convinced.
Fine. But regardless,
he's compromised.
It's the game gets unfair controversy behind the stupidity that is we just explained, because it's trying to show how bad it is. They show images of people dead due to a chemical attack. So it's more like this is the bad thing of terrorists, rather than something like Postal, which is just like, all right, here's guns, have fun.
To be honest, the games that I like for like the relaxation, kind of like, oh man, letting off steam, Goat Simulator is really fun for that, because you get to like just like fly around, just knock people. As a goat. GTA, whenever I like play GTA, one of the most fun things is like to actually like just follow the laws and just see what happens. But then the cops, of course, like they program them to basically murder you.
Absolutely. And people, there's no way to drive normal. I mean, like, it's hard to drive at the speed limit because it's different. Mafia 2, you can actually like put like a limiter to your speed.
Cruise control?
No, it doesn't cruise control. You still have to press the button, but you can't go over the top speed limit. But in GTA, like you press the accelerator on your controller, and it's just, then you hit a car and you got 1 star. Now, then you have to run over a bunch of people.
Yeah, that actually brings up another game I think would be really cool. I always thought it's kind of stupid to have a game that basically simulates life.
Right.
But
like Sims.
It's kind of like it's a game where you literally have no risks. I mean, the problem with this is that people would make it into it would be a great game at first. People would be like, man, this is fun. You get to like work at McDonald's or something and like, you know, work your way up. And of course it'd be like, you know, it's more like a speed life. Like you get like really fast. But it's kind of like Fallout, like with this, you have to click your traits or something like that. And then like an MMO for like, you actually have to, you know, interact.
MMO of real life.
Yes. Basically real life, but in a game. But with stats.
You could just play you could just live real life. No. That's what I keep thinking, like, oh, make this game more realistic.
No, but here's the thing. Like,
at some point, just, you know, there's a game out there for you.
No, but, you know, you can't just, like, maybe the add elements of, like...
blowing stuff up.
Yeah, like, you know, you could join the military or something like that.
You can do that in real life.
I always wondered... yeah, but you could die in the real military.
Oh, there's consequences.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's the problem. The game would... My version of...
What a millennial.
My version of no consequences would be like, oh, in the game, you can, like, keep switching jobs and then buy, like, expensive-ass cars and, like, have no concern. But... in other people, I know this game would be abused for like weird sexual kinks or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
And people would also use it for like postal reasons. Like they would fucking kill.
Oh, crazy. They would sim it to make it like their school, kind of like Doom, and then, you know, Train. Ugh. But it would still be a cool game. Except
I didn't think Train.
No, that's
good experience.
Jesus. Yeah, no, I think it would be a cool game. Again, I've thought about that, and I was like, why not just
play life? But the problem is, life has consequences.
No, because there's a prison mode. If you commit a crime in this game, you end up in prison, and you have to live in there.
Now, and then
it's awesome.
Actually, that also brings up like a lot of the games I always imagine, like those military games, like I want a kind of like free roam simulator kind of military game, not like really. But kind of like, you know, like Infinite Warfare had a little thing like in where you go around the base and you get to like control it. And Metal Gear Solid has like Phantom Pain has like a little bit base thing where you choose your own missions and things. I want that, but like more of a standard U.S. military type, because I feel like, sometimes when I'm playing like COD or something, it's so over the top, but sometimes you want to feel like you're like, you going around the barracks, you get to like talk to your little squad or something like that. You get to participate, you get to level up your, get different, like not like the most realistic army simulator. Not asking for that. I'm more like asking for a more full-fledged, you don't just choose missions, you kind of like, you go on missions, they have progression. You get leveled up. You become like an officer. Maybe you become a general.
I feel like this game exists.
No,
it doesn't.
Not
yeah. You end the game very boring.
You end the game.
You end up just doing paperwork.
You become the president of the United States. That's the goal.
Wait.
And then you declare war on every other country. World War III. Click the button. It's over.
That's how you end every game. Because
it's like
given the button, why would you not press it?
No, I would really want that game. Also set like in the Civil War times.
What?
Not because I like the idea of using like muskets and stuff and standing in a line.
Oh, there is a game that takes place in the Civil War that I played.
Yeah, but it's garbage.
It's bad. It's low res, but it's kind of
there's like one of like National Geographic and things. Actually, no, like the idea of being like a soldier, like Skyrim, I thought would satisfy this, but like being like a like a knight in the middle of like a massive army charging like another massive army. I feel like a lot of people always suggest this. They never do it.
They never, and some even tried, but they didn't.
Like Rise Summer Rome.
Yeah,
that was such a great idea, but it was so
totally destroyed. No, it's like you're not on the front and facing people. I picture it as first person, and you're not on the front line. You're behind a bunch of people, and you're charging with them, and you're literally, and you can die easily. Not easily, but you can die. You have to actually work at it.
There's
just a bunch of, and you could team kill too by accident.
I would love if they combined it with like Total War. Now, I mean, this would be like you need a lot of people, but like Total War, if you has those mass battles, I watch them sometimes. They're pretty cool. Right. I mean, I can't run it. I might be able to eventually.
Nico's doing computer upgrades.
Computer upgrade next week, boys.
Jeez. Okay.
Boys and women and reptiles and robots.
Mark Zuckerberg, shout out.
And Mark Zuckerberg, shout out. Lizard man, get in here.
Lizards.
Where you at?
But
so yeah, like essentially, like Total War, you have those massive battles. Like you put people also matchmake to beat some of the soldiers inside. Those like in the units, those mass units. So basically, it'd be not only do you have to so there's a guy who's
two people playing, or
not just two, like a lot of people playing, and one has to command all the soldiers, and you follow like along. You don't want to be like the one guy left out in the middle. Then you get to play along, and then like you die, you spawn back in as like another soldier to the right or something, and then like you get to choose your unit. Some people are cavalry. You wouldn't be the officer of the unit because the officer of the unit should be controlled by the guy who's on top. And that'd be so epic. You could have such awesome battles.
You know what I'm thinking? What about like an open, kind of like a world that is as big as The Witcher, and you can't, what's it called? Quick jump around. What is that called? Like you can.
Like they have quick travel.
Quick travel. You can't quick travel. You can ride a horse, but you can't quick travel. And
can I ride a donkey?
Woods and stuff. There are other players going through their own missions or stories or whatever in different.
You mean like World of Warcraft?
Kind of.
But you don't.
Like World of Warcraft.
I don't think. World of Warcraft is that kind of thing where I feel like it has a really strong community, but it has a really also toxic community to like newbies. I've heard. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I never got into. I never even tried it. I was like, I saw it. There's a lot. I feel like there's a price barrier too because they have so much expansions now. And understandably, they should cost a lot. It's a really old game, but. It's that price barrier. Like I'm not gonna.
What I'm thinking is like there's plenty of. So let's say there's 16 people on a map, and it's a huge map, Witcher 3 kind of map, and you can't quick spawn. Quick spawn? Yeah.
Quick travel.
Quick travel. You can't quick travel. So let's say you don't have a horse, so you're walking through the woods or even running.
And all of a sudden, Wolverine comes out of nowhere. Here it is, the Hulk walking through the forest, and then Wolverine comes out of nowhere.
That was such a weird. Guys, have you seen that episode? I don't know what it is. But Wolverine just ends up in the forest for some reason, and there's snow on the ground, and the Hulk is just taking a casual stroll through the woods, sees Wolverine and just goes apeshit on him, just like, ah! It's just so weird.
Because they hate you. Because they're badass. So cool people do.
So you're running through the woods because nobody walks in games. And then you see a person and you can actually talk to them. Oh, here's another feature I want in games. You can it's like relative speak, right? So let's say you're wearing a headset. You can't talk to people through you have to actually like press down on a radio in order to talk to people, like it's an actual radio. And then you can only hear people realistically as close or far away. So if you're standing right next to a person, they hear you as if you're standing right next to them. But let's say they're 20 yards away, and you actually, in order to hear them clearly, you have to shout in your mic as if you're actually talking to them at that distance. And then in the middle of a battlefield, you will not be able to hear them unless you get closer. I think that would just be so cool. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't that be just so cool?
I feel like it would be one of those things that like it sacrifices gameplay for some kind of realistic.
Oh, not to mention if people die, their headset just like stops. So you're talking to someone and they're not talking to you. You are now alone in the woods. So this is what happened. You're running through the woods. You see somebody and suddenly you start talking like, oh, I'm heading this way for, do this mission, and then there's a bunch of people in the woods and they do an ambush on you. And then both of you are like working together to try to like fight them off. And then he kills you and steals your shit.
I feel like the problem for that is going to kind of be like the Elder Scrolls Online problem or like the Destiny 2 problem.
People are just not nice. They're not cool.
It's making you important in a world that's not like that. You cannot be that important.
Okay, but
because you can in Destiny 2 or Destiny in general, you're every single person that's there has also fought the big bad and won the war by themselves, single-handedly, no help needed.
That's like
every single one.
That's like that a Blackadder joke where the guy is like. He's taking account of what happened in the war, and the guy says, "How many people did you kill?" The other guy, 400 peasants. It's like, oh wow, that's a lot. and then it's like, did you kill any noblemen? Yes, Sir Augustus. Oh, really? Wow, that's interesting. Because I killed him too. But yeah,
correct.
So what about you start off in a lobby, and then the game clicks in, and every single person starts off on a mission, and there's many different missions that could be given, but basically a mission that you have to get like somewhere in a different part of the map to deliver a message or get something and come back, and there's other players that you can interact with on the map, but most people are AI, either on your team or not on your team. I just think that'd be cool.
I just think, it's just gonna suffer because you have to log in with those guys all the time.
No, you just jump in.
Then it's gonna be different people every time.
What do you mean?
Because is it the same 16?
No.
Then how?
No, what do you mean the same 16?
How's it gonna keep the kind of? Is it like a short game?
No, it's okay. So the game, maybe the game doesn't end. The game only ends if everybody has lived and succeeded in their mission.
Yeah,
I don't know, like a continuous game. People can drop in.
I don't like it.
Right, and when you drop in, every single mission is like you get the mission objective and stuff in a tent. And then once you get your mission objective, or you can skip if you've already know what the mission is, and then they kick you out of the tent, and now there you are in the open world. Oh, and if that place is being attacked, you're fucked. So yeah, I just think it'd be fun to do that.
Yep.
Oh, thought of an awesome game. Somebody's gonna steal it. Please give me credit at least, even if you don't give me money, even though I won't.
Money.
So it's like this.
You
know what a weenie is?
It's like a hot dog.
Okay, so a weenie in a game is basically a tower or a mountaintop or something in the distance where a character can go, oh, we need to make it over there.
When you have juniors.
So you have this like bunch of open space or open world that you have to go through, and you can always check back and see, oh, there's the weenie. I need to get to the weenie. So what this game would be like this. There's a whole city, and in the middle is a giant tower. And the campaign, you need to make it to the tower. And you start off on the outskirts. Every single... Don't touch my feet, you footsie bastard.
So he lost his rack. It's over.
So
in the game, it's called footsies.
Every single city, every single time, the city is different. Now, how would you make it? Basically, similar rooms, right? So you make the developers would make one city, like it would normally be, but they would make different parts fit into different parts. Does that make sense? So if one attic to a place looks a certain way, they would just randomly put it into another place that kind of attic would fit, but it's a different city or a different layout. Then you're on the outskirts, and you have like Fortnite. You know how Fortnite there's a cloud or a bubble that
storm
goes in. Same thing. It's a dark purple and black storm that's just closing in on the weenie, and you have to go in. There's enemies too. There's enemies that will try to kill you, and you have to go through the enemies, through the city to get to the weenie. If you die, you have to start over. And you have to make it all the way to the... If you've noticed, I'm very much about if you die, it's over. If you've noticed that. That's a thing I like because it's kind of like life. So it gives the impression of this is actually... serious. Like, have you ever played Outlast when you only have one life?
No.
Totally different game.
Kind of trash game.
Oh, Outlast. Shout out. Fucking awesome horror game. Shut up. You didn't play it. You watched me play it while I tried to make fun, even though I was shitting at my parents.
That one
just like PT.
In like the first like library where the person like swings out. It's like, and you're like,
I'm like, I ran out of the room.
PT the first time when you get grabbed.
Oh my God.
We can spoil it now because it's not even on the demos.
Really? They took it off?
Took it off all the way back.
Oh, so if you have it still, you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Why'd they take it?
So
Fuck you, Konami. Shout out. Guillermo del Toro, shout out. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. But seriously, guys, just make the demo. Makes a friend of ours, he shall not be named, he gave me the idea that maybe somebody picked the team that made that game, even if they don't have Konami or Guillermo del Toro or whatever, they make a new PT. It's almost like a episodic thing. Like every 6 months, a new PT in a different place, but still fucked up. That would be so fucking cool. It'd be like Hitman with the episode thing.
Well, I don't know how much the production value was on that PT demo. What if it was like a really hard demo to make?
True. But it'd still be cool, right? I'm not putting too many limits on this. I mean, look at my city idea. What kind of development hell?
I would really want to see like a game that like had one city. Mm-hmm. And it was like, kind of like maybe like, Yakuza or some shit. I don't know. But like, like those typical games where you're the detective and you have to infiltrate the gang.
Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah, but the city's better.
Okay.
Because essentially the city should have every single building and have rooms. Like everything is fleshed out.
I would love that in a game. If you could go into
even though if you couldn't like actually open every door because like doors are locked, you should be able to kick every door down.
Yeah, and there's a room there.
And there's a room. There's
people,
and there should be people like a hotel.
No, it'd be funny too if they have hidden people who are just weird, but not like Grand Theft Auto where it's forced, but more like you kick a door open. And there is a guy sitting in his bathtub with a shotgun who just starts firing at you, and you have to run out of there.
Or there's like a guy dressed in like a Frogger costume, and like he's just sitting in the middle of his room crying.
Oh my God. What is this? The dark web? Have you ever seen that fucked up video?
No.
Oh, okay. People don't even try, but it's pretty fucked up. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The guy eating the cereal.
I would really want like this. This is a whole different idea of these games. This is more of a first-person shooter type.
So this game wouldn't be
No, I'm talking a different game. That game that I described, that's a third person probably style. Well,
Really?
first person could work.
I like first
kind of like
person,
GTA. I think like where you switch between both.
I pretty much like first person everywhere.
Well, I'm gonna switch it between both.
Okay, all right, whatever.
It's supposed to be an inventory
Go
system.
fuck yourself.
But a first person shooter game I really like is like trench warfare, either World War One or World War II. But I think World War One would be cooler because it had more trench warfare.
And it's more up close too.
I think you really should there should really be more like you capture like the idea of being one in the many, and like you just a little lowly soldier like just reloading your stuff.
You're not the main guy who gets a special mission or something.
Because I feel like Battlefield 1 was fun. I like it, but it's not World War One in any sense of the term. I mean, there are more automatic weapons in that game than there even is any other style.
You know what I noticed? Simple one-minded objectives. One-minded sounds mean, but basically it's like you're saying so trench warfare. Not a story, not different concepts, just a guy, a regular soldier in trench warfare. And then you
And I know there are games like that though.
My idea with the city,
I want it with Dice's like ability.
My idea with the city, it has little side missions, but it's just you are outside. You need to get to the middle. What would be would there be a story with your whole city Yakuza thing, or would you?
I think that'd be more of a story mode type game.
Yeah, because
I don't say it can be mafia. I don't give a crap. I would be so cool to have New York or something like that, entirely done.
Well done, New York.
Not like entirely, like exactly, because that's impossible to do. Because except I think most of the architecture, is on public record anyway. But
there you go.
But
there you go.
And then you could have a render, or like a Spider-Man game, but with like the whole city. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Because then you could like burst into people's houses as Spider-Man. That's surprising.
No, and still no. And imagine two different games, right? Made 10 years apart, and like the first game, you're a mafia dude, New York City, and you break into a room, and there's the Frogger guy crying. 10 years later, they make a Spider-Man game. Same idea with the city. You go to the same room as Spider-Man. It's the same guy crying.
But there's more water around him.
Yeah,
he's crying more.
It's like
perpetual.
That'd be so cool.
That's the game we need.
Actually,
there was a game like Prototype or something where you could like get that guy where you could like run around with that shield, and then like you go to that one like area near like the water, and you just run down like the road, the sidewalk, and just
plow innocent people.
I heard there's gonna be like a Crackdown free at E3. Remember Crackdown where like you could like ply out those are cool. I think games that I think are fun are like the games that like last longer time than like others are the ones that are less restrictive on like what you're able to do in the game. Like I feel like
more ridiculous. I think
like newer CODs, like they have like even the remaster of Modern Warfare 1, like areas you could jump to before you can't do anymore because they put like little like what's it called?
Digital barriers,
invisible walls, and invisible walls are like the worst way to handle I think out of bounds. Like I feel like out of bounds should be created by if they can actually get out of there, then it's not out of bounds. Halo, remember where you could like there were certain areas.
Fucking flip a ghost with a tank and get out there and then snipe people on that snow level. Yes. That was the shit.
Halo is a true sandbox kind of like now it's not. It's not exactly. I find it enjoyable, but there's a lot less emphasis on vehicles, especially in Halo 5. Like a lot of them, like the maps don't seem to be structured for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hate to see it, but you really hate to see it.
Canadian or Australian, Mike.
So yeah, like. I really believe like most of these games. The problem is a lot of these games that like people like. You would love to have them redone by like a DICE or somebody like even Ubisoft or like even like Bungie because they do a great job on graphics and a lot of physics, but like you want them to not do what they do on their own because you want them to stick to the idea.
You need somebody to actually say, "Hey."
No, because they will ruin the game. Because Ubisoft will ruin the game. Did you ever see the Ubisoft Rainbow Six like reveal trailer?
No.
They're rappelling in on the sky. You're all the same, like just regular SWAT, different loadouts for people.
Right.
And then like the hostage is like, first of all, the graphics are like amazing. Like that's typically Ubisoft.
Oh, guys, don't trust E3 too much because
don't trust Ubisoft. A lot of other companies are more reliable on it. I mean, the Battlefield 1 trailer was pretty accurate on.
Oh, because
I mean, there's certain
remember
things. Remember
Angry Joe shout out, like he said repeatedly, like he sees things at E3 and then later it's just
there's also gameplay reveals at E3 that you can look into.
True.
So what's it called? So yeah, like the trailer for Ubisoft, like Rainbow Six, is like so great, and I think the game's fantastic. I love the game, but like I also would like to have the game they originally intended for, rappelling on roof and acting like actual SWAT.
Oh, but you don't play competitive though, right?
I play ranked every once in a while.
Okay. Is ranked more like that or just
no? Because the difference is the actual game is different. It's not the same game.
Different, yeah. Everybody has a different class, kind of thing.
No, you're not just different classes. You're different people. You're actually you have Russian Spetsnaz working with like regular old like there's
it's like a very specific situation.
There's the Polish Grom with 2 women in the Polish Grom. There is no women in the Grom, so it's not like a realistic shooter.
Yeah, there you go.
And there's no problem with
Historical inaccuracies in the present time. This is slightly in the future, right?
I mean, yeah, but it's not like there's a problem with it. I have no problem. I mean, Thatcher's like 65 years old or something like that. And he's still fighting. Like, give this man a break. He fought like 4 wars.
True.
But yeah, so like
slight features, you can do a lot of stuff.
So that's a lot of the problems with these games. First of all, they have like massive publishers, or they are publishers themselves, and then they like Activision. Though, Bungie got $100 from this Netscape company for some, I don't know what company really is, it's a game publisher in China, for a different game that's not Destiny. So
I think
maybe they'll make a great
one
game.
Thing I've noticed is that they bring on people to test the game, but those people are not secretly. So they secretly want those people to go out and basically be reviewers and expand the word of mouth of the game. Like I remember Angry Joe shout out, he like went to go
stop. Actually, I read his latest tweet on Battlefield 5, him saying, all you people against women in Battlefield 5 grow up. And I was like,
bastard.
I was like,
oh, we just did an episode.
Like, yeah, we just did.
Although maybe he's like, it won't ruin the game, so calm down, kind of thing.
I don't know. I think it won't. But
plus, how many comments do you read online? Because let's say he is really involved into the whole thing, and he's seeing like the deepest derogatory of. I mean, I got mad, but I was like mad towards equality. These guys are like, they don't even care about historical inaccuracy. They just want people that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Angry Joe is not even thinking.
Did you know that BF5 is not a historical accurate 1-to-1 recreation of World War II?
True.
Shocking, I know. And then he says, wait, are some of you guys seriously upset there's a woman in this image? Please tell me you are joking. Seriously. Don't make me do an angry rant on you guys. Lol.
I'm a good guy. Shout out.
Okay, the problem I have with this, and the problem I
Here
have,
we go again.
And the problem I have with this is
if
why,
you guys want to know more, this is also episode 14.
No, this isn't. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm actually gonna go into how this affects game development. How the minority. That's the people say the people that are against women in Battlefield 5 are the vocal minority. No, there's more dislikes on the trailer than there are likes.
They are saying
and even the people that like it, like me, I probably like the trailer. I like the game. I probably will enjoy the game. Okay. I still think women shouldn't be in there. I believe the majority of Battlefield players do not believe women should be in a World War II game. I believe the majority of people would agree.
But the majority of people who are going to play the game and watch the trailer are males, young males.
No, but you have to understand why this affects game development. The vocal minority gets more play here because the vocal minority, the left, the complainers, they're going to make a big...
Just to be clear, we got complainers everywhere. We even have people like me who tries to stay away from Republican,
Yeah, but the Republicans don't even own TVs.
Progressive, even the fucking Libertarians I don't like because I'm complaining about them.
The far right Republicans don't even have Wi-Fi because they don't believe the government. They don't trust the government enough to even have like that monitoring. They don't even have Wi-Fi, so don't even complain. They don't. They don't even have an option. They're just out there with their weird white ghost costumes, having fun times.
Calm down.
Messed up fun. Yeah, believe it or not. Most of them are probably Republican.
Probably Republican.
I'm going to have to assume that the KKK is probably Republican.
Probably.
Maybe.
Not every Republican. Not every Republican is a part of the KKK.
No, they have
most
a website.
likely most of the people in the KKK.
So they're not even like they have a website. You can donate.
Oh,
don't donate.
There was two things. Tim Ferriss, shout out. He talked about this thing like to motivate yourself. Have yourself like if you don't lose a certain amount of weight in 6 months, set it up that somebody will donate like $100 to bad charity, like the KKK, not charity, but like a group like the KKK. So that makes you make sure. But then
I wouldn't.
Yeah. At some point,
it's not me donating.
Motivate yourself. What about just not do it?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'd
not donate to the KKK. I wouldn't exercise.
Although I heard a great way to screw somebody up is just sign them up for it. Like, I don't like you, KKK. No, guys, there's a great...
Don't sign us up for the KKK.
Shit.
I'm already a member.
Jesus, Nico. You just said this out loud on air. It's not live.
It's not live.
But it's on air. Anyway.
Do you think you can accidentally join the KKK? Actually, do you remember that one trailer for the movie, the Black KKK member or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that.
Oh, with Donald Driver shout out.
Yeah,
that looks
cool.
kind of cool.
Those are cool. No, so that makes a comedic. I hope people aren't like, oh, they're making a comedic joke out of the KKK.
Of course they would.
Make a joke out of them. Make them so they are a joke, so they don't matter. Roast them.
No.
Destroy them. With comedy.
Find out what it is, and you either kill them all, or you forgive them in the sense that not forgive them as in not.
We're moving on.
No.
So back to the point of Joe making that comment.
What the fuck? That's not fair. I get that. There was a jazz guy. I forgot his name, but he's really cool, and he thought like, these people hate me, but why do they hate me? So he made friends with this top level. This is a black guy who made friends with a top level KKK member. They got to know each other. Eventually they invited each other to their houses and stuff. And I'm not sure if the KKK member like gave up his robes or whatever, but if I remember correctly, this guy made up to 200 KKK members. I think it was 200. God, I'm just throwing I think it was 200 KKK members to give up their robes. And he was able to better understand what is actually happening to make these people join the KKK. And by doing that, he caused more good. Because let's say you spot somebody who's in the crowd, right, protesting, or whatever they do with the KKK, the torching people. And then you're like, oh, this guy's named this person.
Fire him.
He loses his job. He's outed in the community. Blah blah blah.
He doesn't have a dog.
Guess where he's gonna go. Guess where he's gonna go to.
Prison.
You haven't killed him. You haven't put bullets through his brain. So he's still around. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna go deeper. Now I can't recommend all black people find your KKK members and befriend your local
KKK today.
Yeah, you can't just recommend that. But there's a certain point that if you're not gonna actually kill them, forgive them in the sense that find a way to
don't ever trust them
to clear their ignorance by understanding how they got to the point in the first place.
Don't ever trust
And usually it's the same way how people get into gangs or terrorist groups or the cartel. Yeah, the cartel.
I don't believe people always get into the cartel like that.
It's led by psychopaths, but the community is based on a community.
Okay, not every cult leader is a psychopath.
But not every psychopath is a cult leader either.
Yeah, but I think, you got to think that, the Grand Wizard or whatever. Right. You got to think a group that calls themselves the Grand Wizard. Okay, they're playing an MMO in life, okay? That's why you need the online game that's a game of life. Then they can get this MMO, KKK member stuff all out online, and then they're going to be fine in real life.
True.
See, but back to
video games.
Back to the original point of why this screws up video games. The gameplay of the game is sacrificed because of the vocal minority that judges the game. Mm-hmm. Like Call of Duty, they braved it out. They put the damn no Russian scene. Do I think it was a smart scene? No, obviously we broke it down and how stupid it was to plan. But they did it. And also Treyarch, when they made their World at War game, they put swastikas on the things. They braved it out. I believe they muted them. I think not muted them, but they took them. They censored them for Germany.
Yeah, true.
And those other countries, I believe. There's a few other countries, I think, but I don't know.
Don't allow
it. But you also have Wolfenstein. I believe they still keep swastikas, but they censor it for Germany.
Mm-hmm.
That's the right play. Why would you, if you're gonna make something historical, you're gonna believe it or not, Nazis wore swastikas. Believe it or not, they were racist.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, they were not. Their ideals were not great. They were not great people. You did not want to meet them. You would not want one as your friend.
No. Well,
maybe after the war, when the whole
I wouldn't say that, but there's this sort of it's kind of
if
like
you're blonde hair and a blue eye, maybe.
No, it's kind of like that thing with the guy who made friends with the KKK member. Their ignorance was violent.
You know what's funny? Everybody, when they say blonde hair, blue eye, they never say white skinned. They never make the clarification. Then
interesting.
Because I believe, there was
I have a feeling they didn't really care about the Aryan race. They just didn't like everyone else.
I have a feeling they just wanted to conquer every other country. I saw this one thing. It's like
not ethnically
Nazi Germany. What did you do? You blew 11 country lead.
Jesus.
Which they did.
They did
by invading Russia, which happened to Napoleon as well, where everybody just invades Russia and dies. Because for some reason, their tactic in Germany was basically to throw all the soldiers they could to die. Right. And Germany did the same thing, but they had less soldiers.
I know that you're not for the Nazis. Nico is not for the Nazis, but the way you just said that gives the impression like
they died.
You should have thought better.
Well, I judge it.
I'm glad. I'm sure you're glad that they didn't.
Coming back. No, here's that thing.
No,
no, it's that thing where it's like you gotta think like how stupid could you be in that path? Like you could have won until America comes in and beats you with pure American muscle.
Of course, they come in late.
Because we were fighting our own war.
And then they do this whole thing they come up with the history of how it happened. We know better. Guys, this is the absolute truth. They waited until they could come in with full force.
No.
True.
We were waiting for Mexico.
Jeez, what?
No, that's World War I.
Okay.
Ernest Bardo letter or something. Zimmerman letter. That was such a messed up way.
What I was gonna say is nowadays, even if it's the true minority, the people who are most offended are usually the loudest and considered the most right nowadays.
So when it comes to video games, these kind of video games, you want to put a video game that you can kill kids in, maybe, it's not the goal of the game, but it's allowed.
This sounds horrible, but I am always annoyed that you can't kill the kids. It sounds horrible because what kind of guy would not want to kill the kids? It's like, just have a game with no kids. I want to play Fallout and kill everybody, but now I just can't kill the kids. And then I shoot at the kids and suddenly I'm being shot at by everybody.
That makes sense.
No. What about I sneak up on a kid? But they don't die. And then suddenly they're shooting at me because it doesn't count that I snuck up on them. It's fucked up. I already like the game. I already don't like the games where you can't, kill the other players or, like Fallout is the best one but come on, don't have kids or let the kids die. It's weird that I would say that. Why am I so fucked up? What is this? Why? But it should be this way. Why?
No.
Nico, cut me off already. I'm going crazy. So back to the Angry Joe shout out thing. So
don't shout out. Actually, reverse shout out. I'm very disappointed in he taking that stance.
Okay.
It's mean.
The main point that I'm going to is that he went to go do the Lord of the Rings playtest thing. And he said that they really they give you food, they tell you what to do while you're sitting there and be like, hey, go over there, check that out. So you never sit down and play. So you end up being a play tester.
That noise.
That was from my mouth. It's kind of weird.
Not a play tester. Like a
tester.
Pray. That's what you're. Pray tester.
Pray tester.
Pray. Hate to see it. Somebody's like, oh, that's the nastiest.
Good game. Shut up.
Did you play the new one?
I haven't. I played a demo. It's really hard, but yeah, it's
a different story.
Yeah, it is. I
like the original one better, but I think it was just because it's interesting. You don't see a lot of Native American kind of representation.
No. And
I don't think it was an accurate representation.
No idea if it was,
but
I am ignorant to that.
I would like an accurate representation.
Absolutely. And you know me, I like the negative. So make an accurate one that shows positive and negative and gray and everything.
Or just show positive.
But accurate. Anyway, so he goes to the playtest, and that's what they're doing. So these guys aren't playtesters. They're not testing the game. They're actually just becoming word of mouth reviewers for the game before it comes out.
Well, I mean,
and then the second thing is that they have people who play test the game to try. He's giving me a very mean look for cutting him off, but they play test the game, but they have all these other responsibilities. They have to do this and this and know this. They're not true people who are just playing the game. Like me, I know more than the average person, but I don't know much. So I'm playing a game. I actually find out this is what motherfucking the guys who make Half-Life. Let me look them up while you say whatever bullshit you need to say.
Okay,
because
this is why companies are now using these things called CTEs or community test servers.
Yeah.
A lot. I know Rainbow Six implemented them back in Operation Health, which was last year. If you're an OG Rainbow Six player, you remember it wasn't a great time. There were a lot of bugs.
Valve Corporation.
It was actually awesome. Valve.
Shout out. Valve.
It's not
Valve.
do you pronounce Steam? Steam. Steam. E-R.
Steam.
E-R. This. And also this. Why is it's like weird. It's like an Italian.
It's like
it's not even like it's
French
like
Italian.
It's like a French Italian bad accent, like a bad
French Italian.
It's like the most stereotyped bad version of that
put together.
This. Would you like some this? So yeah, so these test servers they put out, they put the patches in because like before, they tested is it under their conditions, and it's like exactly. Easter eggs. When they implement them, you think some of the Easter eggs you find, like you look up online, you're like, how the heck? But like there's ones like there's like a tiny little rock on like all the other side of the mouth and fall out, and you're just like, that's the Easter egg. It's like. Mm-hmm. You have to really, really, really look, and that's the kind of thing that they can't do that. If they had playtesters who only like they're in-site playtesters who didn't know the Easter egg and weren't like Easter egg hunters, they would never find it.
Guys, now I'm thinking of something. Okay, so I don't like I don't like fast travel. I think it's better to not fast travel. I'm thinking like Fallout. Shit happens in real time and you have rumors. So let's say you're walking around and then you come up to a town, and in the town you start talking to people, and then suddenly somebody says, "Hey, did you hear that town like fucking got raided?" And that was a town you were in like technically like 2 days ago based on like game time.
Yes.
And it got raided and people there that you were talking to are dead. And then you can only walk back, or maybe there's a car or a motorcycle, like a motorcycle kind of thing, and you head back, and it's like it's straight up got raided, and that would be so cool.
If you had a game like that where you can't fast travel, I'd really want something about Red Dead Redemption. I love so much is the like in the multiplayer where you had different mounts that you can unlock.
Okay. Yeah.
You had I had the list right here. You had El Señor, Lusitanos Nag, Turkman, Cleveland Bay, Hungarian Half-Breed, American Standard Bred. Right. Oh, it's half-bred, not half-breed. Bonzo, Buffalo, Albino Buffalo, Super Bowl Zebra Donkey, I would love like a more. I want them to go really fleshed out. If you're really gonna make it only, I love upgrades. I mean, there's a reason COD I think is very enjoyable for a lot of people is because it's kind of like a mouse chasing the cheese, okay? And then there's a freaking mousetrap at the end, and you realize this game is garbage, but you already dropped freaking $500 at the loot packs, and all of a sudden you're stuck here with you drop $500 loot packs and $400, and you're like, damn. And that's how games profit. They don't COD games aren't made to sustain people nowadays.
To be
aren't
fair,
made to sustain people.
I read somewhere that it's costing more to make games. But people don't want to see the game price.
That doesn't include the fact that games are making more money.
Okay, but how?
A lot more.
How are they making?
I saw the statistics on it. They could decrease the price and make them more.
So
money.
Are people just profiting more? Like producers jumping in and being assholes?
That's why.
Probably.
Loot pack.
Fuck
now,
you.
They're charged $60. Like a freemium game, like Fortnite and Smite. These are free games, and they have skins. And I get mad, why in Smite, why are you spending so much time on skins? We'd like you to put more gameplay balancing. Stop making gods. But you had this idea of it's a free game, so they can do this kind of freemium stuff. Why in my $60 AAA game is there weapons in my loot crate? I want to be able to play my game when I pay $60. When I pay $60, I should get the game. I shouldn't have to you get you get 2 maps and freaking 4 weapons, and you're like that was not that. You got quite a bit more. Not quite a bit more, but you get some.
What you get mad at and what I get mad at.
When I the premium pass for Battlefield 1, I heard a lot of people complaining. I was like, you basically get more than double the game when you get that. I'm like, okay, see, that's cool. But they still had loot crates for skins. But those were skins, I understand. But that's just making more profit. They didn't have to do that. They had the money. They had the money. They didn't have to profit. That's just for extra profit. They did that because they wanted to. Now, that minute that you start putting weapons, pay to win, in my $60 game. Why did I pay $60 for your damn broken ass game, which probably has shit tons of bugs, because they always do? COD World War II had the shittiest launch. I hated the game. I'll be honest. I feel like hated
I'm fucking
COD.
playing Men in Black.
I liked Infinite Warfare more than I like COD World War II. Yeah, I did advanced movement. Go suck a dick. Fly for 5 minutes, okay? No problem. Okay? What?
Excuse the Nico.
What? Boots on the ground? You want boots on the ground? Sign up for the military. Be
I'm gonna walk away for a minute. Keep going.
Be a real donkey. Okay? So the minute you start doing that, okay, that ruins games. Games today, people say, oh, they're not like the past. You don't get a fully fledged game. No, you get fully fledged games for $60 for a lot of games. Battlefield 1 was a fully fledged game. You could play it for weeks,
I'm back.
And I loved it. I love Battlefield 1 for the price. You have free games now. You have Slack in my hands. You can hear that.
I'll be back. I'm not actually going, but he's going off. So
this is a rant, okay? This was angry.
He was a time bomb.
This was fuel. This was when we were going to talk about video games. You knew this was
going to... He can't hold himself.
When you're making video games, you knew this was going to come out, because all our ideas are garbage, because they don't make the money they want.
They're not going to listen to us.
You're going to have to pay $5 per door.
We're the best, and our opinions make more sense than everybody else, and they're not going to listen to us.
You mocking me?
Yes, absolutely. I'm mocking you and myself.
I'm ending the recording. It's done. I'm quitting.
Oh, you bastard. Okay. Shout out to everybody. Video games, blah, blah, blah. People we mentioned. All the important stuff.
Unshout out.
Jesus.
I don't hate him as a person. I hate him as... No, I think that's just a mean thing. There's a lot of the arguments here, I just don't believe it's very nice to say your opinion. You guys actually have a problem because... I just said? you actually have a problem because there's a woman on the cover? You hate women or some crap? No, it's a World War II.
Honestly, though, I think it's fair to say that because maybe what he's seeing is much harsher because he's more connected. I agree with you.
I'm connected.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agreed with you all last episode. People watched the last episode. It was really cool. Episode
Shout out.
14.
We have a wildlife episode.
Shout out to ourselves. So,
Shout out to many episodes.
Maybe he's seeing a much darker version than what we're doing. We are angry towards betterness. They're angry.
I still don't agree with it. I think it's rude. I think it's monogamous. It's monogamous, polygamous, and it's racist.
You're just throwing out words.
No, it's prehistoric.
Volvet.
it's Velveeta.
It's c'est la vie.
It's not butter.
You can't believe it. Jinx, you owe me the Coke.
Yeah, we went a little bit off
Shout
video
out
games
Coke.
today. You know, you hate to see it, but you also love to see it because you know this isn't the first time.
All right, guys. Signing off, motherfucker. So I'll see you guys.
Whatever
We'll
that
see you
was.
guys later.
Not signing off.
What? Are we still going?
Just leaving.
No, I mean we're signing off, right?
Bye.